Hi guys, welcome back to Vibrant Health 101. If you guessed from the last video with my kombucha bottle, we're going to be talking about probiotics today. It's one of my favorite subjects because it makes such a huge difference to our health. So unfortunately I don't have any clues in this video because I just could not come up with anything for digestion. Sorry about that, but spoiler. So talking about probiotics, first of all, let's talk about how you would know whether you need probiotics or additional probiotics. Um, so if you've ever had antibiotics or anti-inflammatories or birth control pills, you would need to take probiotics to recover from that. Also, if you have any kind of digestive upset, if you've ever had food poisoning, you will probably need probiotics for that. Also, if you have skin conditions like acne or psoriasis or eczema, you probably could use some probiotics. What else? Let's see. Oh, here's one that most people wouldn't think of. Depression could be an indication that you need more probiotics. Also, insomnia, a weakened immune system. If you catch every cold that comes along or you get the flu every single year, might be that you just need to have more probiotics. So here's my disclaimer. I'm not a doctor, nurse, healthcare practitioner of any kind. So take what I have to say with a grain of salt and do your own study, apply what you see fit for your situation, and of course talk to your doctor about anything before you do it. So with that being said, let's talk about what probiotics are. So it's kind of the new buzzword. Everybody's talking about you have to have probiotic pills, you have to drink kombucha, you have to eat yogurt. So let's talk about what are these probiotics that everybody's so all fired excited about. Probiotics are actually a group of more than 400 strains of bacteria, yeast, and fungus, which are actually beneficial to the human body. They live in a symbiotic relationship with us, both inside our body and on our skin. So they are actually good for you. Now, what is a symbiotic relationship? Well, let me use an example of, say, a landlord and a tenant. The landlord gets rent from the tenant and gets his house taken care of, where the tenant gets a place to live, and in our scenario also gets food. So that is a symbiotic relationship where both parties are being benefited by the relationship. So where do probiotics come from? They're actually found in the soil and on plants and the roots of plants that grow, low-growing plants. That's why we're in the bushes today, because I don't have a garden at this time of year to show you, but plants, soil, air. The probiotics actually are in the air, but mostly from soil. This makes perfect sense to me that, if we came from the dust and we will return to the dust, that we would have this symbiotic relationship with microorganisms in the dust. So God planned that. He gave us that gut bacteria right from the beginning. Now, if it's from the dust, how did it get into your gut? Because obviously I did not come directly from the soil. I came from my mother. Well, that's where I get my probiotics from. So when the baby's being born in the birth canal, it gets inoculated with whatever probiotics the mother has to give. So if the mother is depleted in probiotics from taking antibiotics or whatever else might have caused that, then the baby will be born with low levels of probiotics, which will cause, all of those types of problems that we talked about. So it's kind of a growing trend lately for babies to be born cesarean. Sometimes it's necessary, but it's kind of becoming more, the doctors just want it planned and stuff. So the problem with that is, if the baby does not pass through the birth canal, they do not get the probiotics that they need. So they've started actually swabbing the birth canal and then swabbing that into the baby's mouth so that they can get that inoculation. So that's how we get our probiotics nowadays. And to replenish those probiotics, if we're depleted in probiotics, how do we get them back into our gut? And we're going to talk about that in a little bit here. But first, let's talk about why we need probiotics. Why are these little bugs so necessary for us? I know fungus and yeast and bacteria does not sound appealing, and it does not sound beneficial. But believe me, they are. So actually, it's been estimated that our bodies are, let me read it for, it's been estimated that microorganisms in the human body outnumber human cells by 10 to 1. That number could be exaggerated. There's some debate about what the ratio is, but even in the people that disagree with that, they still say that the bacteria outnumber the cells in your body. So we actually should have 3 pounds worth of microorganisms in our gut. That's quite a bit. So, it's kind of essential. If we go back to our landlord-renter scenario for just a minute, what does the landlord get from the renter? Well, the landlord gets a well-maintained house, and in our scenario, we are the landlord, and our body is the house, and our microbes are the renters. So what do the renters get out of this? Well, they get fed and housed. So we need to provide our renters with a good place to live so that they can do the following for us. So in this scenario, the renter keeps things running. So our little microbes are keeping our bodies going by finishing the process of digesting our food. And that is why we're doing this step now, because we just finished working on hydration and exercise, which are to help eliminate waste. And now we're going to start working on our digestion and getting the nutrients that we can out of our foods. So microorganisms actually give off vitamin B as a byproduct, which is going to keep your little house running and give you energy. And as they digest the nutrients, that also is what keeps us going. So the next thing that they do is they keep our house clean and free of trash. So the microorganisms in your gut actually help eliminate waste, so we're still working a little bit on that. They're going to eliminate waste, and they're going to get rid of toxins that might have come in. So they make our house into a happy little home. Actually, 95% of the serotonin in your body is produced in your gut by the microbes. So without them, you find depression and those kinds of things. So we need those microbes to help us sleep well and help us have good mood. What else do they do? Oh, they fight off the vermin that infest a house. If your house is full of good microbes, then the rats and the ants and the mice are not going to come in, because the probiotics are actually more powerful than the bad bacteria that try to get into your body. So as long as your body is full of the good bacteria, they can fight off those bad bacteria. However, if you don't take care of your good bacteria, then they're going to move out and leave your house empty to be overrun by the bad bacteria. And also 80% of our immune system is found in our gut. So, and that's those microbes, the good beneficial microbes, fighting off the bad microorganisms that are trying to make you sick. So how did it come that our body should be depleted of these microorganisms? Well, every day they are getting used up as they fight off vermin. Maybe a gangster came into the house and killed a bunch of them off. So maybe they're dying of old age. Maybe they're dying of exposure. Maybe you're not taking good enough care of your house, and there's toxic gases or different things. Some of the things that can harm your gut bacteria and cause them to move out or die off are stress, antibiotics, which kill both good and bad bacteria. You actually can find antibiotics in store-bought meats, so just eating meat from an antibiotic-laden animal can kill off your bacteria. Also chlorine, so if you have chlorinated water, that will kill off your probiotics. Toxins in food. If you are allowing your house to be fumigated while your tenants are in there, they're going to die and your house will be empty and open for habitation by vagrants. So we do not want those bad bacteria to come in and inhabit our house, so we want to make sure that we have our house full of good bacteria to keep them out. Sugar also is a big one. It will not only kill the beneficial bacteria, but it will feed the bad bacteria. So when you bring sugar into your body, you're inviting in all of the vermin and encouraging them to stay. So every day, just things that we bring into our bodies, things that we do, air pollution, all kinds of toxins and things will kill off those beneficial bacteria. So we're going to have to replenish them. And that brings us to the question of how are we going to replenish these beneficial bacteria? If they're killed off and they're from the dirt, we're certainly not going to eat dirt to get them back into our body, but there is a way that you can get them back in there. First of all, let's talk about pills. So there's a whole plethora of probiotic pills out there. This is the one that I recommend, BioCult. It has the most variety of strains in it, and it is a high quality, so you will get the most that survive into your gut. And we'll talk about the survival thing in just a second. But you will need to start very small with a probiotic pill that's a good quality like this, because as you introduce the good bacteria, they will start to kill off the bad bacteria. They're basically cleaning house and getting rid of all the ants and vermin that have moved in. And that causes a die-off reaction. So you might have stomach upset, gas, diarrhea. If that happens, you just back off a little bit and just keep bumping the probiotics up a little bit at a time until you can take a full pill. You want to start with just the tiniest little bit out of one of those pills and work your way up. So this is, if you have been completely depleted of probiotics, this will get you up to a normal level. Because when you're depleted, just eating probiotic foods is going to maintain what you have, but it's not going to help bump that level back up. So that's what that's for. That's one way. And also, if you're grossed out by the idea of eating fermented foods, which hopefully they'll grow on you, but if you just can't handle that yet, start with a pill and start getting the population back in your gut. And then in addition to a pill, you will want to start to work on introducing fermented foods into your diet. Fermented foods are going to feed what you already have in there, and they're also going to bring in new ones, so that as your probiotics age and die off, you want to bring in new renters and keep them in there. And that's what the foods are going to do. So some fermented foods are yogurt, which I recommend Nancy's yogurt. It's a good quality. It's not full of sugar, which would feed the bad bacteria. It's processed in a way that keeps the bacteria living, so it's a good quality. Also, I'm just going to mention this right here, that there are probably only 5 or 6 strains of bacteria in this yogurt, which is why when you're trying to recover from, say, taking antibiotics, just eating yogurt is not going to get your levels back up to normal, because remember, there's more than 400 strains of bacteria, fungus, and yeast, which is quite a variety. And 6 is not going to get you there. So that's why you need to eat a variety of fermented foods. So yogurts, cottage cheese, sour cream, those are all dairy that's fermented. But also you can ferment just about any vegetable and a whole host of fruits. Probably any fruit too. I haven't done them all yet, but so learning to ferment a variety of vegetables is going to get you a variety of probiotics. Especially at this stage where we're at here, beets are going to be really good for supporting liver function and helping detoxify, and cabbage is, so sauerkraut is really good for healing your gut. So those two are really good if you like pickled beets or sauerkraut. Those are good for you. So the other things that fermenting the vegetables will do for you, they're going to get those probiotics in there, but also the fermentation process releases the nutrients and the vitamins and increases actually the vitamin content of the vegetables. It makes them more digestible. Oh, it increases the enzyme content in the vegetables, which helps you to digest them, makes them more digestible. So also, something to note here, fermentation is something that's been around since the dawn of time. It is how people preserved their foods before the advent of the refrigerator, which has only been around for, you know, I don't even know when the refrigerator was invented, but probably 100 years or maybe less. But for thousands of years before that, people fermented their foods to preserve them. And so it is a natural thing to do. It is a healthy thing to do, and it's not something to be afraid of. So next section. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to eliminate this week. I would like to see you guys eliminate sugar as much as you can. We'll do a detox later on to just completely eliminate sugar. So if you're not up for that quite yet, just try to cut back on the sugar to try to starve out some of those bad bacteria. But if you can go cold turkey, do it, because you want to kill off those bad bacteria and let the good ones take over. So eliminate sugar as much as you can, and especially eliminate antibiotic hand soaps, hand creams. Keep those probiotics on your skin alive. And then if you know, avoid antibiotics as much as you can. If you need them, take them. But if you don't really need them, don't be too quick to jump at it. And then also meat and milk that have antibiotics in them. So try to find a good source of meat and milk that does not have antibiotics. So we're going to add this week, I had you make the kombucha already when we were doing hydration, so hopefully it's finished and you can go ahead and start introducing your kombucha little bits at a time. Build up to 1 probiotic food per meal if possible. And then also you want to take some between meals, because your stomach acid will kill some of the microbes that come in, and not all of them are going to survive to your stomach, which is another reason why you need a whole bunch of different ones. You want a whole lot of variety, because they're not all going to survive into your intestines, which is where they're needed. So try to introduce a variety of different fermented vegetables, and I will be linking a video on how to make my salsa and sauerkraut. And also, if you want to try more variety, I will try to link a video of someone that I enjoy watching, Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. The gal does a lot of different fermented recipes and shows you how to ferment some different things. So try to, you know, try different things, experiment, find some things that you enjoy, and introduce as much probiotic foods as you can. Just want to thank you guys for sticking with me. Thank you for watching my videos. I'm hoping that they're a blessing to you. I'm hoping that they're making a difference. Go ahead and comment below and let me know how it's going. If you're feeling more energetic and feeling like things are going well, or if there's things that you want me to talk about, go ahead and comment on those. Go ahead and thumbs up if you like the videos so that other people will know it's worth watching. And share as much as you like. If there's people that you know that could use this information, go ahead and share it. And last but not least, if you want to get notified every time I upload a video, go ahead and down below hit the subscribe button and then find the little bell icon and click on that, and you will get an email every time I upload a video. So thanks for sticking with me, and I hope that this will be a blessing to you. Have a great day.